Welcome to Authentic with Brazil's Who Won. I'm your host, Brazil's Who Won, and on today we're here to talk about Backrooms, A24's first franchise, and I have to say the how do we say the Gen Z directors are here, and between Curry Barker and Kane Parsons, I gotta say horror's in a great hand, but also the fact of matter, if we were to go back to January of 26. I don't think anyone would have we all knew Star Wars was coming out Memorial Day weekend, and everyone knew Mando and Grogu was going to be a disaster, right? It'd probably do an okay first weekend and then fall off because of being such a disaster. No one expected Mando and Grogu to fall and fail the way that it did, and also because of the way it was sandwiched now between arguably 2 of the best movies of the year, which are also going to be so intertwined with each other in the way we talk about it, from Obsession, which is doing something no other movie have ever done, where it's making more its consecutive weekend than its first weekend. The only time this ever happens is usually that Christmas break where, like, movies are just every day is treated like a Friday or Saturday, but Obsession is just going upwards because of how good it is, and Backrooms, the other horror movie, which just blew out Star Wars and the way they're sandwiched together. And is Backrooms an awards movie? I do not think so. Is Backrooms a fantastic movie? Yes, and I wanna say I did not know any of the lore or the story of it. I have only played the map on Fortnite, so I understood about there was some secret company that was going into it, and it's been around because of an earthquake or fault line or whatever triggered the shift between worlds, very similar to the Stranger Things and 11 and the Upside Down and blah, 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 mixed with there are levels, and I don't think the movie does that, right? Because like, in the Fortnite, you go all the way up, there's, like, level 0, 1, 2, 3, like, 1's a pool, and then there's the whole thing about it. We know this is a franchise, and we know I do hope they did not destroy the set, because I have to say, the way they built this apparently real 30,000 square foot set, and I have to say it's probably something similar to what Severance's does with their maze layout set, which exists in a studio in Queens, and I assume they did not knock this down. I assume because they're gonna either do movies or TV shows, and movies and TV shows, I hope they do not do both. I think they should stay doing movies because, as we've seen with Disney right now, the TV to movie pipeline is not a good idea. And I think once you go backwards, you're fucked, right? This is why Star Wars is a disaster, and this is why the Marvel movies are now a disaster because of the TV vacation of everything. I have to say though, I'm trying to think, like, realistically, could Obsession and Backrooms both be to the make it to the top 10 for Oscars? I do not think Backrooms can. I do think Obsessions can because I do think I have a vote for these things, right? I will vote for Indy and I'm going to s the gr to Nikki to be one of the 5 for Best Actress. I think she deserves it. Remember, this happened in Weapons with, the person who was playing, gl fucking what is her name? Aunt Gladys, and now we're getting an Aunt Gladys spinoff, right? I think because of the fact that she's most likely going to be nominated, and she'll probably end up doing Actors on Actors and all the other, like, press because she deserves to be nominated, because we've just been assuming the way it was gonna work this year was, like, Project Hail Mary is in the tier where the Odyssey and Dune 3 are supposed to go, right? Like, this was our 3 of, like, what our best movies of '26 were supposed to be, and then we're assuming 4 Fjord, right? The Social Reckoning 2, and and Digger, right? We kinda, like, had the slotted of what 7 of the 10 were supposed to be, and I think Obsession should be able to make that list, should be somewhere 8, 9, or 10, okay? I do not think both Obsessions and Backrooms get to make the list, but I do think right, I and I'm is should Backrooms get for best of the this is where the rules get Obsession is an, original idea, so I assume that will be an original screenplay, whereas Project Hail Mary, The Odyssey, Backrooms, Dune would be an adapted, right? That's the way they do these funky rules about it, so it does seem like they could get nominated for below the line things, right? Especially for, like, set design and whatever shit, like, Backrooms deserves a lot of praise in terms of its practical set. And just remember, these 2 Gen Z people destroyed Star Wars, okay? Because it shows people want original movies. I understand there was a built-in, fan base similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, and I gotta say, A, I wanna just there's I don't know, how do we talk about this movie? The story is interesting. So we're in 1991, 92, and, uh, what the fuck is it? Clark, played by Chiwetti, I'm definitely saying his name wrong, works at basically what is a one of those furniture stores. This is where I have to be more impressed because the kid was not alive in the '90s, and for those of you who are in New York or over 30, you remember what a Sears was, right? And how Sears just went on forever. And also, what's funny is the way the back rooms are and that furniture store layout in the real world are. It's similar if you're in New York and you've been to the Macy's on 34th Street, the top floor, right, is where they sell the furniture. It's exactly like that. It goes on for fucking ever and you could get lost in it. Okay, that's maybe the portal, the clipping between worlds is in the Macy's on the 10th floor on 34th Street, right? And he's in therapy, and this is the only part I kinda didn't make sense because did men go to therapy in 1992? Right? We get this whole thing, and he's with the therapist, with, Mary, and we get this I forgot about the cold open where one of the MRI company dude gets lost, and I guess he gets killed by the stick figure, and they are able to bring electricity in to, like, kind of follow the pathway. I am still confused as to why they didn't do what, Clark did, is put tape around all the potential portals they know that, like, clip through, because we see at the end of the movie how they closed everything with the door to this, and they wear the hazmat suit, and I guess there's also a portal somewhere near a beach because seagulls keep popping in, so we know that's happening, and in the backroom world, is it only expanding because of human memories, or do animal memories also make it go whatever? The whole thing is and then the store has electricity problems, but apparently because the back room is siphoning off electricity from the real world, and this is where I would wonder because their electric bills going up. I assume that, if we ever get present day back rooms in the 2020s, they would able to see the charge in electricity to be able to like find the portals, right? And also like what like, is the purpose? Because like, it goes on forever, but there's gotta be a reason, like, is it eating matter from the real world? Is this a Stranger Things where if it expands too much, it blows up and both are stuck together? Why don't the monster or the entity go into the real world? Because clearly they know where the clips are. It just stays there. Because we see at the end of the movie, they bring the pirate Clark into the real world to examine the body, and I don't know if by killing it, that means there's no more entity in the Backrooms world. Either way, he's mapping it out, and I just wanna say, this is what I would do. This is the modern I understand it was 1990 or whatever. I would do the rope thing they were doing, but I would wanna bring weapons in. I would wanna just start setting shit on fire in there and see how the world would react, blow holes in it, map it out with tape, kinda like a real set so you can follow through with it. Like, bring air tags everywhere so you have things to pop on, and I understand the air tags wouldn't be able to send a signal to the real world, but air tag signal should theoretically work for air tag stuff in that world. Like, I would hope our sequel to this is present day. I hope the evil MRI corporation didn't kill Mary. I am confused if Mary being captured when she was the fake Mary or carbon copy Mary we see that's in the bottom trap, is that her manifestation of it, or was that Clark's manifestation? And also, I have to say, the girl from Shrinking, who is like the assistant manager in this, so hot in this. Like, she's just so hot, and the guy she's fucking, whatever, the camcorder thing works. Because 'cause I'm trying to think, like, if you were doing the modern version of it, like, let's say it's set in 2026, you go in with your iPhones, you go in with your Meta Ray-Bans, right, to record and try to pop out, send information. 'cause at some point, you would think the entity monsters would be waiting at it, like, maybe, like, at these doors just to kill people, like, because eventually you could do it that the monsters start to pop into the real world and kill them or whatever, and I'm confused as the furniture keeps spawning, because I understand a lot of people thought because how he goes back in and he takes the stool, is this like, "Oh, this is how he's just gonna sell furniture in his, like, shitty store," and it's those commercials are really like how it used to be before Amazon, before West Elm. These that was how people got furniture, they would just see these commercials, and we know that the MRI company's base has to be at least within the same 3-city area because the way commercials work then, they didn't go to the entire state. So Mark Duplass's character sees the commercial of the pirate guy, of the guy he saw on the camera, so he knows he's real, and he should the fact he didn't send a team there to investigate or whatever is something confusing. And also how time passes, because we know when the therapist goes to the store, the girlfriend's shrinking and everybody's been missing for a while because they have, like, 21 days late noticed or whatever. So, he just stays there, and I'm confused what people taste like the fake people, because everyone the memories there, I'm confusing are other people who got, like, lost inside and then it created the fake version, or he's just all memory because he's, like, living in a fake little town of his own house because he hated his wife because he was an alcoholic and he's sleeping in his Sears, you know? I loved it. I like movies that make you think, okay? And I'm glad that this and Obsession are working together in a Barbieheimer way because by the way, we're in a certain scenario where Backrooms and Obsession could make more money this week than the He-Man movie and scary movie that are coming out this week. Because right now, I've been, like, looking, I don't know if He-Man is going to do well, and I don't know if Scary Movie's gonna do well. The fact of the matter is we may get a whole thing where the box office after this weekend could be Backrooms, He-Man, Obsession, Scary Movie, or Backrooms, Obsession, He-Man, Scary Movie. Star Wars is completely out because they already saw the numbers about it because 'cause they're putting He-Man in IMAX because of Star Wars' failure that people just don't wanna see it anymore. It's kind of interesting. I loved it. I the I want more of this, okay? I think this is what people want, movies that make you think. We are fucking fantastic. Makes me wonder, though, because we have 2 more horror movies, I think well, actually, we have a couple more, but of our big horror movies, we have that Jacob Elordi horror movie that's coming out at the end of August. And we also have One Night Only, which is a horror rom-com where something happened where you're only allowed to have sex if you're not married for 12 hours, 1 day a year, very Purge-like, with Monica Barbaro. Yeah, I loved it. Okay, I thought this was great. I'm also the Christmas when the monster eats the boy. I'm so confused why the Christmas thing was so scary. Because we see the Christmas tree lady and all that. I wonder what my bathrooms would be. Who knows?